everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a bracelet and a pair of earrings using products from Sam's Bead Box, June 2022. First of all, our encouraging word for today is that which does not kill us makes us stronger. This is Frederick Nietzsche, and I love this because I think a lot of people think this is in the Bible, and it's not. So that is not a scripture. It is a saying by Frederick Nietzsche, and it is very true, actually. All right. So if you want to make this bracelet and earrings today, so here's the earring, one of the earrings. We're going to make the mate to it. And I obviously haven't made the bracelet yet, or I wouldn't have the beads to make it with. So if you want to make it, you're going to need 4 of the little Ladybug beads from Sam's Bead Box this month. You're going to need 4 of these check coin beads. You're going to need some eye pins. I'm using antique copper with this. I just thought it looked really pretty with the wash on these little beads here. So antique copper. You're going to need some bead caps, and I've just got some little flower, filigree flower bead caps. I think they're 6mm. I have this toggle clasp here that I'll be using. You're going to need 2 crimps. These are 2mm crimp beads and crimp covers. I'm using some of the little saucer beads in the red and some of these really pretty check drugs. And then you will need a, I have about an 8-inch piece here of 7-strand bead stringing wire. And you probably are going to need some jump rings. And you'll need your tools. Now that's everything for the bracelet. We'll do the earrings here in just a minute, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my toggle bar and I'm going to string it onto, I'm debating whether I should use wire guards, and I probably should. Let me see. I don't even know if I have any in an antique copper. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, I'm going to pull out 2 wire guards just because this is a bracelet. And I feel like when it's on your wrist, it needs that extra protection. So if you don't want to do them, you don't have to, but I am going to use a couple wire guards. It's totally optional. And I debated stringing this directly on here, but I'm afraid with the coin beads behind it, it might be a little hard to get through my toggle clasp. So I think what I'm going to do is just make the loop and then string or put a jump ring on here just to be sure that I don't end up with it too short that it can't get through. So I'm just going to put my crimp bead on. I am going to go up one side of this wire guard and around and down the other side. And I will come in close here in a second and show you guys, because I've had a lot of people ask me how to crimp, and it's not hard. One of the major important things is that you use good quality crimp beads, and unfortunately this is not a good quality crimp bead. This is just the cheapo crimp bead from China, but I don't have any crimp tubes or good quality crimp beads in antique copper, so we're going to go with what we got. All right, so you've got your wire. It is going up through your crimp bead, through your wire guard, up over and around, and back down and through your crimp bead, okay? Now what you want to try to do is, if you can see these wires are crossing, you don't want them to cross. You want to try to keep them side by side, because your little when you crimp this, it's going to make 2 channels, and each wire is going to go in 1 channel, okay? Now, one thing that I enjoy doing, and I think it makes it look a little bit better, is I take my crimpers and I squeeze my wire guard in, and then you just want to pull everything up. Make sure it's all tight and you don't have that little loop sticking up there. So let me pull it, okay? We're going to scoot our crimp bead up as far as we can go, and you just hold everything tight. Make sure your wires aren't crossed. So I'm uncrossing them and just trying to hold everything right here with my finger. Now we're going to take this, and as you can see, your crimping pliers will have a divot with this pointed down part. So this divot needs to go on the bottom. And you're just going to grab, try to separate your wires if you can, like that. Pull everything tight and crimp down. Now see what that does. I don't know if you can really tell. Let me see if I can. It puts each little wire in its own channel. So there's it's smashed that divot down in the middle, and each little wire, there's a wire on this side and a wire on that side. So then you've got all these little, I've got glue in my pliers here, U6000. So then you've got all these little divots up here. So when you close this up, you can see there's 1, 2, and 3, and they get bigger. I usually use the second one. It just depends on how big your crimp is, but usually everything fits in the second one for me. And so you're just rotating your crimp, you're putting it in there vertically, and you're just going to press down, and if all goes well and the stars align, it will make a little crimp there, and this one did, okay? Then I'm going to take my crimp bead cover. I'm just going to slide it right over that crimp bead and just press it down and close it up. It's like a little Pac-Man bead. And you just have to kind of play around with it to get it to close up really good. Okay, so there's what we've got. And we're going to put a jump ring through that, and we will attach our toggle ring to that. So I'll just go ahead and do that while I'm at it. Let me find a small jump ring. I like to use small jump rings when I can. So this is a 4mm little jump ring. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach it to the wire guardian and attach it to my bar. Okay, make sure everything's closed up really good. Your jump ring is. And there is one ending. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to string on, I'm going to string on 2 of these little saucer beads. Pull in my bead caps here. I'm going to do a bead cap, a druck. Would help if I was on camera now, wouldn't it? Let me scoot this down. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and a bead cap. So here's what I've got. Now, you want to make sure that you put this little tail of wire that is poking out here from where you crimped. You want it to go through a couple of your beads if you can get it to, just like that. Okay, so there's what I've got. I'm going to put on another bead cap. And then I'm just going to repeat that pattern. 2 saucers. Why do you not want to go in there? There we go. A bead cap, a druck, and a bead cap. 2 saucers, a bead cap. No. I'm doing this completely wrong. I am so sorry, guys. Take it all off. I'm doing that totally wrong. I forgot about my coin beads. The saucers go with the coin beads. I'm so sorry. So we're doing 2 saucers and a coin bead. Oh my goodness. I was like, this isn't looking right. What is wrong? Totally not with it today. I did not get enough sleep last night to start with. That's part of my problem. And then I think I need to be drinking more water. I think I'm staying dehydrated. Okay. We're doing 2 saucers and a coin bead. That's what we meant to do. I was sitting here thinking, okay, these are all really tiny beads on this side, and it's going to have to even out with my ladybugs on the other side. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do 2 more saucers here. Now, one thing that I want to do is I want to use eye pins to do my ladybug side, because I just want to give it some variation and not just string the whole thing on tiger tail. So I have to watch here because I have a small wrist and I don't want to get too many beads on the one side. So right now I'm already almost at 3 inches. I'm going to put this last coin bead on here and these 2 saucers. Okay, just whoops, like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and crimp this end. Okay, same as I did before. Where's my other wire guardian? There it is. So I'm putting my crimp bead on, putting my wire guard on, going up and over and through the little channel on the other side, and then back down through my crimp bead, and a couple of these first 2 beads if I can get it to go through there. Just going to pull this all tight. Okay, so now I'm going to bend in my wire guardian just like I did on the other end. Come on now. There we go. And just pull tight. And you want to make sure that you got everything tight. Now on this end, it is a lot harder to tell if your wires are crossed. So you just kind of have to do the best that you can do. And I don't think mine are. I hope not. But I've got this all pulled down tight. Okay, everything is looking good. So I'm just going to lay it in the bottom divot there of the crimping pliers and crimp down. Okay, then I'm turning 90 degrees in my second little channel there. I'm going to close it up. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And there we have it. So now I'm going to trim this off. And where are my trimmers? Where are my cutters? There they are. I'm going to trim this off. And I'm just going to put this little crimp bead cover on. If you want to, if you don't feel like your crimps are secure enough or whatever, you can put a little E6000 in this crimp bead cover or over the crimp before you put the crimp bead cover on. And it will just give it some added security. I feel like these are pretty secure, right, that I'm doing today. But I do use E6000 a lot to secure little connections and such things as that, because, you know, you don't want it coming apart. But I feel like that's pretty secure today. Okay, so here's what I've got. So now I want to do my other half. And to do that, I'm going to use the eye pins, the ladybugs, and the drucks, and the bead caps. We're just not going to be using the saucers over here is all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eye pin. I'm going to put on a bead cap, a druck, and a bead cap, and a ladybug, just like this. Then I am going to make a loop. I'm not going to do wrap loops on these because there's not wrap loops on the other side, so it would look kind of funny to have your eye pin with one wrap loop and not the next one wrap. So I'm just going to do regular loops, rolling this back into just a little loop there. I might have cut that one a little short, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, and I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to do bead cap, bead, bead cap, ladybug. Same thing as I was doing on the other end, just making a loop. Cut this off just a tad bit longer this time. I like smaller loops. I don't like to make big loops on these bracelets, but you gotta have enough to roll your roll your loop back. Okay, there's number 2. And let's see, I'm going to do a third one. Bead cap, druck, bead cap, ladybug. And I am, just a note, I'm making sure that all my ladybugs are facing upward when I'm doing this, just so they're all the same direction. I guess you could vary them if you wanted to, but I don't think I want to. Okay. There's that one. So now when I hook these on, by the time I get 3 of those hooked on and my other end, I'm going to be well Yeah, into the 7.5 inches. So I'm not even going to need this last guy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hook these directly together and I'm going to hook this one right onto the wire guard right here. I forgot I had this thing zoomed in. Sorry, where I was showing you guys how to crimp, I zoomed it in and forgot about it. Okay, so there's one ladybug. Hook this next one on. Number 2. And number 3. There we go. So let me measure just to be sure. Yeah, I'm right at about 7 inches. So by the time I get my other end, it's going to be pretty close to where I need it to be. So I've got my other end here. I am going to hook it on with a jump ring. Just because I feel like that with it, again, being a connection, I kind of want to just make sure that it's secure and not gonna, it's got a little movement and not gonna pull too much. So I like to hook the toggle on with a jump ring. Close that up and let's see if it fits. And it does. It's pretty perfect actually. So I'm gonna just put this right on here and let you see it. There we have it. Little ladybug and check glass flower, beaded. And see, this right here is one reason that I went ahead and used that jump ring and didn't go directly on, because I was worried that this would crowd that, but it's not. It's okay. It probably could have hooked directly on there, but I just felt like it'd be a little bit safer like this. You could even wear the toggle on the top if you wanted. It's cute. So anyway, let's go ahead and do our earring. It's very easy. So for the earring, you're going to need 1 ladybug bead, 2 bead caps, 1 druck, 1 eye pin or head pin. Okay. Then we're going to need an eye pin, 2 of the saucer beads, the coin bead, and your ear wire, whatever ear wire you want to use. So the first thing we're going to do is make our little ladybug part. So we're doing a bead cap facing down, our ladybug, and make sure that it's facing up. I'm sorry, you're going to need 3 bead caps. Another bead cap facing up, your druck, and 1 more bead cap. Okay, so just like this. And then we're going to make a wrapped loop. So I'm just going to make sure that's pulled up, bend 90 degrees, come up and over, whoops, rotate your plier up, and come around. Then I grab this with my chain nose pliers and wrap, and I'm just going to wrap around a couple of times. Just like that. Oops. Then I'm going to cut this off, tuck this in, and there we have our little dangle part. Now we're going to take our eye pin and we're going to do a saucer, our coin bead, and a saucer. And again, we're going to make a wrap loop. So 90 degrees, up and over, and around. Grab this one and wrap a couple of times. Flip that. Okay, trim off. and tuck in. All right, so here we have it. We're just going to hook our coin bead part to our lever back. Close that up really good. And then our flower, our coin bead, to our ladybug. I did not open that very well. There we go. All right, and there we have it. Now, just if it's hanging wrong, which mine is not, it's okay, but you can take your pliers and turn it. But there is our little set of earrings. And here is our little bracelet. So I think this turned out super cute. I love the turquoise and red together. Just so, so pretty. So there we are. Now we have one little bead left. I guess you could make a little dangle if you wanted to hang like a little dangle right there. That'd be kind of cute. Or you could even hang a dangle like right there. So let me see. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make a little dangle here. Let me get a better eye pin or head pin. So I would do maybe just might do the bead cap facing down like I did on the earrings and just put it on here. And do I want to do a direct too, or is that going to be too long of a dangle? That's going to be too long. I think we're just going to do the ladybug. Let's just put the ladybug on there by herself. Since we only have one ladybug left and nothing to do with just one ladybug, so we'll just make a little dangle here. Up and over and around for a wrapped loop. Actually, I'll probably hook her on with a jump ring, so I'll just go ahead and wrap this loop. Sometimes if your eye pins are bendy and not too thick, you can just do it with your fingers. Okay, and then we'll just take a jump ring. I'm going to use like a 6mm for this, just so she dangles a little bit. And I'm going to hook it right on here, onto the end of my toggle. And there we have it, a little tiny ladybug dangle. That's pretty cute. Let me tuck that in just a little bit better. Straighten it up and tuck it in. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a super cute set. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel if you like this content, because I will be making more tutorials. I'm doing them all the time. Sam's Bead Box, Bargain Bead Box, Jesse James Beads. And then I'm doing getting ready to do a bunch of seashell stuff as well. And I'm going to have kits on my website for the seashell necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. So keep an eye out for that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!